My name is Ebrahim Patel. I'm the Managing Director of Magellan Management and Director at Syncopate Technologies. I was born in Durban, brought up and schooled in Durban, so it makes me a proud KwaZulu-Natalian. At a young age, I had the opportunity of working for a fashion house as a shop assistant. That gave me passion for business, the understanding for business, and I really liked the interaction between the customer and the business. As I grew up, I entered the university to get my first qualification and went to the University of KwaZulu-Natal. But when I received my qualification, I found that the industry that I entered into was not conducive to what I really wanted to do in life. So I branched out and diversified and joined a property company as the youngest qualified commercial broker in the country at that stage. That allowed me the opportunity to interact and gain experience from a number of high-profile property developers and property professionals across the country. From there, I branched out into facilities management and investment management. In later years, I found that the business that I was working for did not give me the growth that I wanted, and a number of people encouraged me to start up my own business. And that gave me the platform to start off Magellan Investment Management, which has grown into a boutique business today that has a niche market and operates in a very niche environment. My passion has always been technology, and that passion worked itself out both in my qualification and in my later years when we formed Syncopate Technologies, whose aim is to bring technology into everyday life. This has been my purpose. How do I democratize the access to technology and access to information and make it accessible even into rural homes? That technology is also something that permeates into the business world, and it's a fascinating facet of business. We're working on how we take businesses to the next level using technology, and that has been my inspiration throughout my business. Is how do we create opportunities for people to grow businesses, to use their businesses as a means of change in our beautiful country. My proudest accomplishment are my two children. I'm really proud of the way that they're growing up, but that's the family part of me that feels really proud because of the values that have been instilled in me at a young age. And as I see my children growing up, I really feel proud that over and above the business accomplishments, I have two beautiful children. In business, the ability to have interacted at a very high level with a number of players across all industries and at all levels of business has been my great accomplishment. I value the ability to have met with and interacted with international businesses, and so that has given me a wider view of what business is at a global level. A most telling experience for me, which has driven my business life, has been many years ago in the early 1990s. I was sitting out in a hotel in Hong Kong, waiting in the lobby for someone to fetch me, when along came a person and sat down next to me in the lobby, and we started chatting. He asked me where I'm from, and I said I'm from South Africa. And we started talking about what he does in business, and he explained to me that they were at that stage one of the largest clothing manufacturers in the world. Fascinated by that conversation, I decided to go and visit his factory, and so we visited what he called his headquarters, which turned out to be a very small little office in a building. And the story of his business really inspired me and fascinated me, and has driven the way I've run my businesses as well. This was a global operation, but in a very small little office space. They had no factories, they owned no machines, and everything was outsourced. And that gave me this idea that you don't need to be a very large business, a very large facility with large assets in order to be very influential in business. And so that has inspired me along the way with all the projects that we've been involved in how do we outsource to others and create opportunities for others as well. So it's not about eating the entire cake by yourself, but about how do we share that cake amongst others, and yet we all grow together. So that has been a great inspiration to me. Probably the greatest accomplishment has been the ability to make a change in KwaZulu-Natal's economy by being part of the processes, the formal processes representing organized business as the founder and past president of the Minara Chamber of Commerce, where I think that we have made a contribution to growing the economy of the province and creating the opportunity for all to be involved in it. The best advice I received was from the chairman of my board, who happened to have been the former deputy prime minister of Malaysia. He was 81 years old at that time, and he said to me, take things slowly and build on strong foundations. And so don't try and be everything in the world, and don't do it in haste. Rather take your time to achieve what you want. And that has been a great advice to me, is that we've built slowly, we've built on small blocks, and so we've put a strong foundation together as we grow our business. It's also helped me in life as well, that I sit back sometimes and think about how do I want to get to a place, how do I want to achieve something, and that ability to sit back, reflect, and to take things a little slowly, to chew on and process the thoughts, gives one the ability to identify where the challenges would be, to identify the various permutations in business, and therefore it gives a great deal more confidence in what we are able to do. And I think that that was the best advice I ever received. We face challenges every day in business, whether it is financial challenges, whether it is the changes in the industry, the changes in the demographics, the changes in consumer behavior. And I think that the ability of the entrepreneurial mind to pivot within those challenges and to rise above them and to find the opportunity within it is what makes for success in business. I've faced a great deal of challenges of where businesses have failed, or where we have had clients that have responded negatively to the presentations that we've made to them, or whether we've had clients that have terminated their business with us. Yet we find the ability to move on. So I think that the biggest challenge that any business would face is how do you rise from those challenges that you have faced. Most entrepreneurs, when they are faced with a challenge, go into a shell, go into a cocoon and find negativity. And that destroys that ability to transit. So the greatest challenge for any business person is how do you rise up from your challenges? And I think that that's what makes for a successful business. I've learned early on that motivating team members is a two-way thing. Oftentimes I find that my team motivates me to excel as well, because they depend on me. They depend on the vision that I would put forward. And so in motivating my team, I also look for how they can motivate me, how they can motivate each other. And probably the biggest way we motivate each other is to look at what are the positivities of what we are doing. Every day we're faced with negativities, whether it is broken water pipes, or whether it is potholes, or whether it is the rise of crime or rising unemployment. But the understanding that there are great opportunities in our country. Our country is a very beautiful country, and understanding that there are great opportunities, and the mere fact that our business continues, that the door remains open, and that we are employed, and that we have a job, and that we have the ability to earn an income is probably the greatest motivation that I find. That whilst others might be facing challenges, we are blessed with the ability to continue with what we have. And so to me that is a motivation. Every day, and there's a saying that I always say, always use with my team, is that every sunrise signals a new contract with our existence, with life. And so when we greet the sunrise, we have been given another opportunity to make a difference. And so I think that has been my personal motivation, and I try to instill that into my team. Grant, you inspire me. I mean, seriously, you do make a huge difference in our province. The fact that you recognize excellence in the business community, and that you celebrate that excellence motivates all of us and inspires us. So I think that you have that accolade. Grant, I'm going to use that and say, Grant, you inspire me. The province of KwaZulu-Natal is probably one of the most untapped resources of our country. We have a vast ability to make changes, and the economy of the country, of the province, is at a huge potential, whether it is the ports that we have in KwaZulu-Natal, or it is the business acumen within our province. And I think that the ability of having gone through a number of challenges in the past 5 years, whether it was the COVIDs, the 2021 riots, the 2022 floods, the 23 floods as well, the tornado of 2024, all of these challenges have created the ability in us to transcend and to rise above these challenges. And I think that there's a great deal of positivity for KwaZulu-Natal. Where do I think KwaZulu-Natal and business, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, would be in the next 5 years? I think that we have gone through one of the darkest periods in our recent history, and we have emerged a lot stronger. The fact that the provincial government is now looking at how to revive the economy bodes well for the future. There's a great deal more confidence amongst businesses in KwaZulu-Natal, and we've seen a number of investments. There's almost, at this present moment in time, there's about 55 billion rands worth of investments on the table, and these investments are coming into the province, which gives us a great deal of confidence that the economy of the province is changing. I think that the provincial government needs to pay more attention to how do we create a more inclusive economy, so that businesses we must realize that businesses don't operate in a silo, we operate within the community. And so how do we create greater equality in our economy? How do we create opportunity for a more inclusive economy? And I think that that is where the provincial government needs to focus its attention. We have great opportunities in industrialization of the province. The tourism potential is still untapped. We have beautiful vistas across the entire province, whether it is the mountains of the Drakensberg, whether it is the seashores, whether it is the Big Five, whether it is even big game fishing. We have untapped potential in our province, and I think that we need to find ways in which we can create opportunity within that potential. Tourism being the area of focus, the industrialization. We have a number of large manufacturers in our province. We need to increase the manufacturing base, but not only just increase the manufacturing base, but increase the ability for that manufacturing base to export at a global level. There's a huge opportunity for KwaZulu-Natal-based businesses that are manufacturing goods within the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement to access the African market, and then from there into the global market. So I think that the potential for the next 5 years, I'm very confident about it. I'm very confident that we have turned the corner and that we are now in a more positive trajectory, and that within 5 years we would see KwaZulu-Natal as being probably one of the best performing economies on the continent. My personal motto has been excellence giving off in excellence. So in whatever I try to achieve it to the best of my potential and the best of my ability. I think at some times it becomes a bit of a negative because I'm a perfectionist and it holds me back. But my personal motto has been always give off the best in whatever I try to do.